This is the balsam crop of 2020, just one of thousands upon thousands of plants growing around here. It's one of the great blessings in this island. Before balsam came, there were essentially very few bumblebees because the amount of nectar available and pollen was just much reduced on what it used to be, because people have been building houses, having spaces for cars to park and whatnot, so there's very small amounts of urban flowers and consequently sources of pollen and nectar. And in the fields, the technology of controlling weeds has meant that most of the crops don't have many weeds now, so again there's nothing for the insects and pollinators to take to get their nectar from. But balsam came and it's just grown, and it grows in places where people would not be able to grow many other things. It starts really before the end of the frost, so sometime around about March it will start to grow. Just originally 2 seed leaves. Each of these plants comes from a seed which is only a very small size, maybe 2 millimeters, something like that in diameter, and then within the space, we're now in September, so from March to September, so it's March, April, May, June, July, August, September, then you get a plant which is this sort of height. They can reach about 9-10 feet, about 3 meters under good growing conditions, and the flower is beautiful in the sense that it's lovely and pink, and it has a very large opening so that all the native bumblebees as well as the honeybees can get inside and extract nectar and pollen. And you'll see the bees have got so much pollen on them that they become white, almost like they've got some problem with them. But it's actually just the pollen from the balsam. But they are an extraordinary plant, a great blessing really. But people often don't like them. They go on what's called balsam bashing parties, where they try and destroy them. It's like trying to kill the golden goose, because it provides so much nectar, and without nectar, without pollinators, then a lot of the fruit crops, a lot of the food we grow would not be able to be grown. So it's a very important resource for us, and one that we should really celebrate rather than trying to destroy all the time. To create seed pods like this, which explode just as that one did there, that then scatters the seed, and it can extend the range of the plant. It's a very simple and very effective method of propagation, as we can see the fact that the balsam is everywhere. It's just an amazing plant. Originally discovered in the Himalayas, it was given the name Impatiens grandiflora and imported back to Europe by the early plant hunters, and it was grown as a specimen plant, and then it escaped and has become everywhere. But it really is an amazing blessing. I think Himalayan balsam is an abomination which must be got rid of. Let me ask you this: what would you replace it with? You would need something which grows from March through till September. So let's imagine what you could plant. You'd have to go and buy the seed, you'd have to have the gardeners, and you'd have to probably do some weeding with most other plants. So the cost of replacing this and keeping the pollinators alive and healthy and providing them with food, and us also with food because they pollinate many of our crops, would be astronomical and consume a lot of people. Or you can just accept that Himalayan balsam is a great blessing and that it does everything for us at no cost to us. It is a golden goose laying golden eggs every year. And the final blessing is that when the first frosts come, the Himalayan balsam will go to sleep and they will just vanish, essentially rot down to nothing, so you'll never know they're here from the first frost till the start of the next year in March. So from sort of say October, November, December, January, February, March, they sleep and are just not visible, as though they've never been here. Quite amazing. And of course, during that process of decay, then they return a lot of the nutrient to the soil, so they essentially keep the soil fertility about what it was when they arrived. But they provide a tremendous amount of food for all the pollinators, particularly the bumblebees and the honeybees. And here we see honeybees returning from foraging flights. The ones that have got white on them are the ones that have been to the balsam, and the white is the balsam pollen. The bees truly appreciate the Himalayan balsam, even if not all humans do. And perhaps if you're thinking about going on a balsam bashing party, you might want to think about what you're adding to the world and what you're taking away from it. Because without the Himalayan balsam, the bees would have a much harder time of it, and we would have much reduced fruits and vegetables to eat. So the bees provide a very important service to us. They work very hard. You can see here how industrious they are. So the bees do everything they can to keep going and to provide us with very valuable pollination services, and of course the honey that we steal from them.